Hi, and welcome back to Now TV. I've decided to add another 5 minutes because I feel like you guys are just getting into it, and I was just getting into it, and then I had to stop. The reason I do 10-minute segments is because it still takes a really long time for YouTube to load stuff, and when you're starting to get a little late into the evening, you don't want to have to sit there and wait for an hour or something for 20 minutes to get up. So if you do 10-minute segments, it uploads really quick, nice and easy, and you don't have to take too much time waiting for it to load. So it's just easier that way. But I know it sort of kills the momentum of the story when it's being told. I might try using a different format to do longer videos, to read more scenes longer. But for now, this will do. I'll just add a little bit from here, and I'll end it on those 2 segments for tonight. Car pulls up to Kathleen's. Honk, 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 honk. The horn goes outside her apartment window. Kathleen comes to the window and waves to let them know she heard the horn. She brings her first couple of bags down to the car. By this time, Joe and the driver are out of the car. Kathleen goes to the window and knocks on the glass and says hello to Brinkley. Hello, Brinkley. How are you doing? She bangs the glass with her fingernail. Yes, are you having fun on this car ride? You, me, and Joe have a big trip ahead of us. She looks to see that all the bags are put in the trunk. Kathleen says, just a few more, Joe. He says, okay, dear, right behind you, as he follows her into the building and up to her apartment. Joe says, just a few more bags, as he scans the doorway looking at the last of the luggage. Honey, we're not moving to Vancouver, we're just going on a vacation. Kathleen says, I know, Joe. I just want to make sure that I have everything needed for the time we're there. Little things like mini first aid is expensive, but impulse shopping. Plus, seeing as how we are likely to go to someplace like a nice theater, I wanted to make sure I had some evening wear. Joe says, Kathleen, dear, I don't think it requires this many bags for evening wear, teasing her a bit, but it didn't really bother him at all. Kathleen, ignoring what he says, okay, you take those 2 big ones, and I'll grab these little ones, and that should be it. We should be done. With the bags in their hands, they leave the apartment. Kathleen turns around, closes the door, and locks it. She then safely puts the keys in her zipper pant pocket. She won't be needing them for a couple of weeks. Joe says, okay, Delaney, come grab these. The driver was quick to take one of the suitcases, and the both of them walked to the trunk. Joe continues, do you think we can fit everything in here? As he turns to look at Kathleen with the last of the bags. Delaney says, I'm sure if we just arrange these things right, we can. The driver leans into the trunk and starts moving things around. The only part of him one can see is his backside is sticking out of the limo. Kathleen, now at the trunk, says, here you go, Delaney, and thank you. You're so kind to us. Delaney just looks at her with a blank look, once getting his head out of the trunk. Kathleen and Joe go to the car. Joe opens the door. After you. Get back, Brinkley, get back. Kathleen is trying to get in the car. After Kathleen gets in, she holds Brinkley and starts petting him. Okay, Joe, you can get in now. Joe gets in and closes the door, and they just sit and wait for Delaney, who was rearranging the last of the bags in the trunk. They hear the trunk close. Joe says, oh, here we go, Brinkley, who is now sitting between them both. Delaney gets in the car and closes the door and starts the car. Delaney says, are we ready back there? Kathleen says, yes, Delaney, I think we are. Delaney says, okay, then, off to the airport. End of scene. Joe, Kathleen, and Brinkley at the airport. Upon arriving at the airport, Brinkley noticed another dog nearby and was excited to be in a new environment and quickly moves forward to the end of his leash's length and sniffs the other dog's butt. That dog, in turn, bit Brinkley's nose. Brinkley cries, "Ow, ow!" Kathleen apologizes to the other dog owner about Brinkley's rude behavior. Joe gets upset and says, what on earth are you apologizing for? They have a biter. They shouldn't have a biter in a public area like an airport. Kathleen says, Joe, Brinkley sniffed their dog's butt and the dog thought it was rude. Joe says, never mind. Look, Brinkley's bleeding. Come here, Brinkley. Joe gets up, nice and close to Brinkley's face. Kathleen says, oh, hang on a minute. I've got just the thing. Ta-da! She says after pulling out her mini first aid kit from her carry-on luggage and showing it to them. Here, put this on his nose. Oh, wait. Clean the blood away first with this. After finding her way through the kit, she hands him an antiseptic wipe. Brinkley cries a bit, but gets over it quick when Joe puts the magic cream on his boo-boo. Joe says, there you go, Brinkley. That boy, you're so brave for me. You'll be all right now, buddy. He pets Brinkley's face and head. Woof! Brinkley says, and then resumes panting. Kathleen says, honestly, Joe, how's Brinkley supposed to know not to sniff other dogs' butts if you give him so much attention and love? I mean, it was, after all, Brinkley's fault. Maybe? They have manners workshop classes we can take him to while we're in Vancouver, so this doesn't happen when we're coming back. Joe says, I'm not sure we'll have time for that, Kathleen, and honestly, I'm pretty sure that bite on the nose told Brinkley where he's not allowed to go with it. Kathleen says, we can talk more about this on the flight. Do you have a good hold of him? We don't need anything else to happen while we're waiting to catch our flight. Joe says, what are we going to talk about? And yes, of course, I have a good grip on him. Let's get our carts and go figure out where we are supposed to drop Brinkley off and find out about the tranquilizer. Joe pushed one cart, Kathleen the other, heading in the west direction, looking for customer service, or the airline they are flying with. End of scene. That's it. Hope you enjoy it, and tune in another day, and, maybe you'll find another segment of You've Got Mail too. Peace out. Jennifer Cooley, Now TV, Canada.